It's me. And thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. So, today on Ask an Aquarius, I would like to talk about something that people ask me about a lot. There's something called sign qualities. All of the signs are broken into three groups of sign qualities. The qualities are cardinal, mutable, and fixed. And it's four signs in each category. So today I wanted to talk about the fixed category because that is the category that Aquarius is in. So also, if you're an Aquarius, a Taurus, a Leo, or a Scorpio, this information will also pertain to you. So, what are these? Basically, these are qualities that are attributed to these particular signs. And it's said that this four, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, are the fixed signs. So, what does it mean in astrology to be fixed? Well, basically, what it means is that these signs have a tendency to be more stable. These signs have a tendency to be more determined. These are very deep, intense signs too, and rather persistent. If you're a fixed sign, it's generally not easy to change your mind. Like, seriously, these are the most stubborn signs in the zodiac. Good luck getting them to change their mind. Even if it's something that will probably not be a good idea, they're going to do it anyway. Because this sign, once they've put their mind to something, it is done. These signs do really good with the law of attraction because of that, because they really focus on exactly what they want. So this can be a really good thing, but there are some pitfalls to being a fixed sign. Fixed signs also, in their negative form, can be inflexible, rigid, stubborn, opinionated, and single-minded. So it's okay for the good parts, but these other parts are something that these fixed signs have to deal with. So if you find yourself in this category, if you're a Taurus, if you're a Leo, if you're an Aquarius or a Scorpio, some of the times you may find yourself in this space. Now, it's good, like for example, stubbornness. Stubbornness can be good when, like I said, the law of attraction, or there's something when you need to stick to something and see it through to the end. That stubborn nature can get projects done, but it also can push people away if you're being too opinionated, too stubborn, too single-minded, too inflexible. In relationships with other people, these are things that often cause a problem for these particular signs. Fixed signs like to be right too. So some of them like to argue, especially when they're young. A lot of Aquarius come away from that as we get older. I noticed when I was young, I would argue my beliefs, I would argue my thoughts, I would argue and fight for what I thought was right, my principles. But as I got older, I started to realize I didn't have to fight to be right all the time. It didn't always matter trying to get somebody to understand my opinion or, even, go along with it in some cases. It didn't always matter. I came to find that there was no need to persuade people to do things my way. They can do it their way and I can do it mine. So I became more flexible as I got older. So those are what fixed signs are. Now I'm going to give you some characteristics of fixed signs. So if you're dating a fixed sign or if you are a fixed sign, here are some things that the zodiac tells us you should look out for. First of all, the good thing is, or one of the good things is, fixed signs are tough. Fixed signs are usually signs that no matter what happens, no matter how many times they fall down, a fixed sign will get their ass back up. They have the tendency, it's common anyway, can't say every last one of us, but most of us have the tenacity to persevere through anything. So a lot of fixed signs have been through hard times and have made it to the other side because a lot of fixed signs are tough enough. So fixed signs have a tendency and a reputation for being very tough signs. Number two, fixed signs are usually very independent, self reliant. These are signs that really can take care of themselves. They might not always know that. Most of us do know that we're independent. That may come up often, doing things the way we want them to do them, or when we want to do them, how we want to do them. Those things come up for a lot of us. But that self reliance is something that many of us learn as we get older, and some of us have it from day one. I could take care of myself and everybody else around me in my mind ever since I was 4. So many of us are immediately independent and immediately self-reliant. The problem with this is that we don't always maintain the best relationships because of it, because quite frankly, we can take care of ourselves. And this isn't a world where I believe you're meant to be alone. I believe we come back in soul groups for a reason. So a lot of times that can be problematic in these particular situations. Number 3. Fixed signs have strong opinions. Remember, I told you that they're very opinionated. So some people who are fixed signs are extremely opinionated. They're always talking about their thoughts and their theories and their ideas. I mean, ask an Aquarius. That's what I talk about. I talk about my opinions and my thoughts and my ideas, and also facts and things that I've read and learned and things like that. But it's all being filtered through that same energy, 4. Fixed signs pay attention to details. A lot of fixed signs do pay attention to details. Some of us more than others. Things like, for example, spelling mistakes. I'm not a spelling Nazi. A spelling Nazi is a term that people use online for people that are always correcting someone else's spelling. You ever been on Facebook and spelled something with your spell check and it spelled it wrong, and some person that you don't know comes out of somewhere and they gotta correct you about your spelling? That's what they call online a spelling Nazi. I'm not that kind of a person, and some fixed signs are, but some fixed signs aren't. It's just that we like things to be right. We like to look at details. We do want things to be spelled properly. Maybe not online, but if I'm writing a flyer or an important paper or a letter to my boss, I'm definitely going to check and make sure the details are right. So fixed signs have a tendency to pay very close attention to detail and try to make sure that things are right. Fixed signs are big on routine and skeptical of sudden changes. I have always been referred to as a creature of habit, and many fixed signs are. Remember, they said fixed. So something that's fixed stays that way for a long time, if not forever. So fixed signs generally do the same routine over and over again. And even though some of us like spontaneity, you will notice that it'll be occasional spontaneity, but for the most part, our routine stays the same. Like in my case, every day I pretty much follow the same routine, except for the weekends and except for when I go on vacation. But if you look at my life, 90% of it is the same thing. I get up at the same time. I do the same job. I do the same thing. I eat the same things, I like to, look at the same web pages, and I read the same books. The books can change sometimes, but I always look at the same YouTube channels, even though it's different videos, it's the same channels. I listen to the same songs. I've had them same songs for like 20 years now. So a lot of us are, creatures of habit, as I would call us. And this one says fixed signs can be stubborn and kind of bossy. So some people find us to be that way, and sometimes we are. A fixed sign can be bossy. When I was young, I was very bossy. And as I got older, I learned to stop being bossy and be more of a leader. They're two different vibrations. So some of us are very bossy, and they keep mentioning stubborn. I think they've mentioned stubborn about 6 times in this particular article that I'm telling you guys about. But it's just so true. We're just so stubborn. So it's worthy of repeating. 7. Fixed signs take loyalty seriously and they'll always have your back. If someone is a fixed sign, usually loyalty is extremely important. If someone is disloyal to me, I will stop dealing with them altogether. I don't care how long our relationship has been because I'm never going to feel the same way about them. Once they've stabbed me in my back, once they've betrayed me, I'm never going to feel the same way about them anymore. And many fixed signs feel that way. They take loyalty seriously. So if you're in a relationship or a friendship with a fixed sign, do not betray them because 9 times out of 10, you may lose that person or they may stay in relationship with you but never feel the same way about you. So be very careful with that. And this comes up a lot, especially when Libra and Aquarius, because Aquarius is a fixed sign and Libras have the tendency to understand every angle of a situation. So some of the times their behavior betrays one or both people, sometimes consciously and sometimes unconsciously. They might just naturally understand both sides of the table, but you can't play on both sides of the table. If you have 2 different opposing forces, you either have to stay out of it, stay totally neutral, or you have to decide which way you want to go. You can't come to A and talk about B, then go to B and talk about A. And a lot of Libras and Aquarius get into fights about that. I know I've stopped several friendships with Libras for betrayal. And of course, they feel like they didn't do nothing wrong. It's like, hey. So the Aquarius takes that very seriously. Fixed signs in general take that extremely seriously. So that is the easiest way to lose somebody who's a fixed sign. Now, I found these online. I thought they were interesting. I used this one because I liked it a lot. This is 7 Secrets of Fixed Signs, and it's on zodiacfire.com, Fixed Signs, in case anybody wants to check it out online. They have a lot of stuff out there about the zodiac, and I thought this one was particularly good. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So tell me in the comment section, are you a fixed sign? Do you act like this? Are you with a fixed sign? Or do you know fixed signs and do they behave this way? Which ways really ding for you as I was going through the list? All right, guys, it's time for me to go. And I'm going to leave all of my information underneath this video so you can check it out. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And please come back soon because I have a lot more to say. Oh, also, I must tell you, I got a new patron today, Lisa. Her name is Lisa, and she signed up to be one of my patrons. So Lisa, I want to give you a shout out. I want to thank you for signing up to be a patron because every dime is appreciated and goes towards the support of this channel. Thank you so much. All right, guys, if you would like to be a patron, click on this button up here and check out my Patreon page. See ya.